Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. And today we are going to be looking at the guaranteed summon event, right? So it's going to be another sacred guaranteed summon event. So has Plarium kept up their streak of giving us absolute freaking bangers for the guaranteed sacreds? We'll see right now. So 15 sacreds, alright, so that is a pretty steep price, alright. 15, I think, is definitely a pretty sharp, barrier to entry. So who is this champ and is he worth pulling, right? So that's something we want to talk about. Nekmo Thaar. So it looks like we are getting a new champ here. It's a lizardman, right? And looks like you get an increased ally speed, aura in all battles. 19% though, that's, so it's like Haikatoon good. Like Haikatoon is the same thing. 19% all battles. Ah, man. It's a little bit low for legendary, in my opinion. I wish that was a little bit higher. So let's see what the skills are and exactly what you're going to use him for. It's a support champ for Lizardman. And Lizardman already has access to Broadmaw. So right off the bat, having a support champ for Lizardman is not a high priority because you already have Broadmaw, right? In terms of just faction wars. So is there like end game stuff this guy can do? So when you're doing guaranteed summons for sacreds, legendaries, right? You're spending 12 or 15 sacred shards. It has to have some kind of end game impact, Thaar gave us like a solo farming build for Dragons 25, Ice Golem 25. Also, you can build for Arena, Tag Team Arena, Lots of other parts of the game. Hydra Boss, right? Kyoku, Clan Boss, like a Clan Boss composition by herself. She can do that. Good in Arena, good everywhere in the game. She can do that. Sisha, good in Hydra Boss, but especially good in Spiders 25, right? So, Nekmo Thaar, where is he going to fit? So this is where we're going to try to figure out what he's good for. So the A1 is an AoE. Okay, AoE A1, that's actually pretty good. And it can put decrease attack. Wow. This actually isn't bad. An AoE A1 with a decrease attack on it. That's intriguing right there, because it plays well in both regular Clan Boss and Hydra Boss, right? So, right off the bat, I am liking this A1, right? 2 turns, the chance increased to 75%. Ooh. Against targets with debuffs? Wow. That's actually pretty good. Okay. I'm digging it right now. Let's see what else he can do. Attacks all enemies. This time, it's putting decreased speed and leech at the same time. Also not bad. Also pretty good. Wow. This is pretty good in Hydra Boss. And all AoEs, so it's gonna be good in other parts of the game, right? Pretty sure it has a place in Doom Tower because of the AoE decreased speed, right? Although, we have Visix there. He does put Leech on, which is great. Again, for places like Hard Doom Tower. Books down, 5 books there, 4 books on the A1, books down 3 turn cooldown. Okay, so 2 AoEs from the A1 and the A2. Alright, so it looks like Stun Set is a good thing to put on this for waves, right? And finally, you'll get an increased speed buff all allies for 2 turns. Fill their turn meters 30% and then grants this champion an extra turn. Is this a speed champ for regular Clan Boss? That's a good question to ask. And the ability to put Leech on, right? Have that on a 3 turn cooldown. have this on a 4-turn cooldown, but you get an extra turn. I feel like there is a comp there for a speed-tuned clan boss comp, definitely. Does he bring other debuffs in a speed-tuned clan boss comp, right, that you want? It's gonna be, it'll definitely fit in some kind of 2-for-1 type team, for sure. If you combine the speed aura with this speed boost skill right here, right? On all allies, 2 turns, fill turn, meter turn for 30%. So you know my feeling about the 2-for-1 comps, right? It's not that I don't feel like they're any good. Obviously, they're amazing. But, you know, the complexity and then trying to get the exact champs to make that comp run. How does this compare to something like Helicath, which we just got last month, you know? And that comp you can run on auto. And you can run it 1-on-1. You also run it 2-for-1, but, you know, you can run it 1-for-1. And for Nekmo, you're going to have to figure out the speed comps yourself. And I'm not sure it provides value beyond somebody like Seeker could do. I mean, I get it. So you get decreased attack, you get leech and decreased speed. So leech and decreased attack actually are okay to have on the clan boss, the regular clan boss, especially if you're not building an unkillable team, right? So is there like a 2-for-1 team here that can kind of withstand a non-unkillable comp, you know? Maybe. But building that much speed and survivability and damage at the same time in your guys is pretty hard to do, you know? So that's kind of like the straight downfall. So I think overall he's okay. He's not great. Overall he's okay in my opinion. I feel like he would be the worst of the 4 that we've had this year for Sacred Legendaries. Nekmo is probably the worst. Not to say he's terrible. It's just he can have some end game stuff. Like he can play in Hydra Boss. He can play in regular clan boss. He can speed tune through there. He does bring speed boosting, which is good. So a lot of stat mitigation, which is great for hard Doom Tower, right? This does do speed fixing for you in hard Doom Tower if you're hard up for speed there. Not bad. Overall, I think not bad. Yeah, you can definitely do a comp with Nekmo in hard Doom Tower, where he goes speed boost into decreased speed and leech with stun set, so that, and then you can put the stuns on, and then that should allow you to snowball because you're speed boosting. So everybody's gonna take a turn and everybody's gonna do their thing to try to get that snowball and try to control the waves. You know, it's great for hard Doom Tower waves, I think. So this does have a niche place in hard Doom Tower waves. I think he's going to play with a Hydra boss. Everywhere else in the game, you know, he's going to be good. I mean, speed booster with upside, it's always good. But are you going to have 15 Sacreds early in the game? Most likely no, right? Unless you're spending a lot of money, you know. What does that come with? So we are going to take a look at what they're offering up. So it looks like Sifi Rotos. Usually I don't look at the legendaries. They're kind of pointless. Skull Crown. I mean, you could try to gamble for a Skull Crown, but at the same time, Voids are just so valuable. It's very, very hard to gamble for the Void Epics in an age where they're giving us guaranteed Void Epics. So if they put a guaranteed Void Epic out for Skull Crown, for, let's say, for 25 Void Shards, that will be worth it, in my opinion. Sinesha is actually pretty good to gamble for as well. So they're both good to gamble for, you know, if you have like a specific stopgap. But as you can see right now, I have the exact same number of Void Shards and Sacred Shards. That's pretty nuts, yo. That is pretty nuts. So I think they're changing up the legendaries, right? It won't be just Rotos. I think they are changing up the legendaries. Let's take a look real quick. Here we go. Buddy up summon events. So I think the epics are going to be the same. Sinesha and Skullcrown, yeah? And then we're going to get Rotos, Sisha, and Cardiel, then Corrado, and Yumiko. Corrado. Ugh. That's terrible. Yumiko, though, is really, really good. So, if you get lucky with Yumiko, I guess you deserve it, first of all. So, it comes down to me now. Am I going to pull for Lizard Dude? In my opinion, for my account, personally, I would love to pull for him. Just so I can have him in my collection. The reason why is because, 39 Sacred Shards, yo. I was able to get Sisha, I was able to get Kyoku, I was able to get Wheatear all this year. All from the power of farming Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. So once you're farming Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, these summons are practically guaranteed for you, the player that's farming Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, which is good news, especially if you have Helicat. Once you have Helicat, you're more concerned about the value of your shards, right? So having a guaranteed champ for Sacreds here is pretty good. If that guaranteed champ is somebody you really, really like, So, I think for most people, he's going to be a skip. Because, you already have Vizix for Hard Doom Tower Waves. If you want to do that for Hard Doom Tower Waves, there are other options for 2-for-1 comps in normal Clan Boss. Of course, the best among them has got to be Seeker, right? Deacon as well. So there's Deacon, there's Seeker, and then there's him, And then for Hydra Boss is where he gets a little bit interesting because you need 3 separate teams that have that kind of like speed boost, decrease speed, decrease attack, and he does fill a lot of those roles all in one champ. So for me, my play for getting him would just be probably to use him for Hydra Boss for that specific reason of being able to, and put him maybe on Retaliation set. So he's always putting out that decrease attack. I like the idea of doing that, actually. I might do it for that alone. But the other novelty for me is just a way for me to use my Sacred Shards, get guaranteed value, and then add a unique champ into my roster. So my roster right now, basically I'm only thin in Tag Team Arena and Hydra Boss. Those are the only 2 areas of the game that I haven't really put a lot of time and effort into. So like Archmage Pinthoroy actually has been paying off for me in terms of my Hydra teams. But we're only doing normal Hydra Boss in my clan, I could probably push higher, obviously. I've been playing a long time, and if I really put my mind to it, I could probably push higher. It's just that the idea to me of sitting down and manualing through Hydra is not appealing at all. Like Deadwood Jedi and Hell Hades and who else was there? YST and all of them. And I think a couple of female content creators for Raid. They did a contest where they drafted like from factions and did all these events. And they culminated in Hydra Boss. And I gotta be honest, man, watching that Hydra Boss video was so painful. It was so freaking painful to watch. Because, like, the Ice Golem and the dragons and even the arena. I think the arena was probably the most fun that they did, which means there is, I think, an exciting kind of like future for Raid if they were able to do like clan war through arena. I think that would be great. But geez, that Hydra Boss portion where they're just manualing and getting like these incremental damage wins, it's just not exciting. It's not fun. And I feel like that's not where we want to be in the game. So that's kind of like my personal reason why I haven't really been going really hard on Hydra Boss. You can put my face in the middle. There we go. So Fang Cleric, I did use him to get through, I think, my Faction Wars, right? Ripper, okay, this one's terrible. So we've gone through 3. I still haven't gotten Sinesha. That would be actually a good little bonus right here if you are going for him to try and get Sinesha, especially if you haven't finished Night Revenant Faction Wars yet, right? But honestly, if you're kind of like that level in the game where you're not done with Faction Wars, you're not done with Hard Doom Tower, definitely this would be a skip, you know? So like in general, I feel like this is the weakest of the bunch we've gotten so far, which is kind of disappointing a little bit. Oh, shoot. No way, I'm out of slots. Oh, Zargala. Zargala's pretty good. Zargala's always pretty good. So let's free up some spots, right? So we're gonna upgrade some champs. And this is like par for the course in Raid. I mean, that's the only thing about Raid is the upkeep and the maintenance of your champs and your account is really quite something. Actually, a little side note is I played Pokemon Go a lot before I started Raid. Actually, that was my main game before I started Raid. And one of the things about Pokemon, I played it F2P as well. F2P, even though, you know, I bought the peripherals. I bought Pokemon Let's Go with the Pokeball thingy. Although I never really played it. I mean, I played with my kids every now and then on the Switch, but not really. And then the other one, what did the other one I bought? I think I bought 2 or 3 of the Pokemon Go catcher things because I always lose them or whatever. And I got back into it recently because a friend of mine was asking me to battle. So I was like, okay, all right, let's battle. And I lost the first 2 times we played, although the second one glitched me out. So I'd say that was probably 1-1 right there because I thought I was winning that game. But it kind of like, oh my gosh, you know how you've been playing a game a long time and you feel like you're good at it, and then if there's an update or the meta changes and you're like, oh my god, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing here. That kind of like happened to me with Pogo, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get back in there. I gotta get my team right. I gotta get revenge. I gotta win. And so, long story short, I've been doing some Pogo stuff, right? And the maintenance for Pogo is incredibly tedious. Like, incredibly tedious. I feel like it's a toss-up, honestly, between how tedious it is to do Pogo versus to do maintenance for Raid. It's that bad. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This is probably why I quit, right? A lot of it is because I gotta sit down and I gotta do trades. I gotta watch through the animations. Like, if you thought Raid's animations are annoying as heck, right? You have Hell Hades doing, I've seen it, Raid. I've seen it, Raid. I don't want to see it again. Guess what? I've seen the animation, Raid. Bro, Pokemon Go. My god, those animations. Miscreated Monster. Definitely. Like, a top tier epic still. Today. Rector Drac. Wow. Another, like, insane epic. They actually offered him as a guaranteed before. So this is kind of like the sad part of pulling outside of 2X. So now I'm at Mercy. It looks like I might pull a double Lego here at some point if I don't hit Mercy. So this is the crazy part, right? So we just had a double Lego event, I think for Sacreds last week, right? For the 2X Sacreds, no, not 2X. It was in the middle of the week, right? It was in between the 2X. And so I guess I'm not gonna pull a legendary, right? Unless I hit the last one. And it's a legendary? No. Okay. So this is actually a good little thing for you to experience as well. And that's the reality of Sacred Shards. That 6% is so hard to hit. Like, Look at that. We did so many pulls for Necrawl or whatever, and we didn't hit a single legendary outside of him. So that's another reason why the guaranteed are kind of good, because at least you're locking in that value of the legendary. Only though if you're actually going to use a champ, right? If you're not going to use a champ, well, obviously it doesn't matter how many Legos you pull. Like if they're all not usable for your account, then that Lego is literally trash, right? So it looks like 15 Sacreds gets me all the way to the end of this Summon Rush event, which is great because I get some Lego books. I do need some Lego books because I might actually use that Necrawl guy, honestly, for my Hydra Boss teams. Because, like, I haven't really built dedicated Hydra Boss champs yet. They're all boss. They're all champs that kind of, like, overlap with other content in the game. And I haven't really sat down and put in the time and effort to actually go through it, which is fine, I think. I think the next video we're going to do is I want to critique Hell Hades' one team to rule them all, which, you know, to be fair to him, is actually a great team. It is a great team, you know. It's got Deliana, it's got Draxstar in it, right? But there is a little tiny detail there, you know, that he embellishes. Obviously, I mean, he's a content creator. That I think deserves to have its time to get rebutted, right? So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna try to rebut that video because I feel like from the F2P low spender community, while that video is great, there are things about it that are a little bit misleading, yo. Just a tiny bit misleading, right? So again, I'll see y'all next time. All right. So peace out.